Hi guys, welcome to Views from the Gantry podcast. I'm here with Ben. How are you doing, Ben?
Oh, good thanks, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I think this is one of the only weeks that both our teams won, so it's a very good weekend.
Should be a positive week then. Should be a positive week, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what
Oh,
happens when we cover a couple of the games.
well, you say that positivity. We'll start off with Arsenal. There's not much positivity coming from me. We won the game 1-0, but it's the same old shit. We're looking for the perfect goal rather than trying to get any goal. Um, there's only again 2 3 standout players: Rice, Saliba, and Havertz coming off the bench. To be honest, well, I see the face, Ben. What's this all about?
So, like Saliba for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's unbelievable. I'll give you that. He's got for me. He's actually probably got to be like second, maybe towards the top of defenders in the league at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Rice, yeah, I do think he is playing. I do think he was playing well for you guys. I think he's still lacking when he goes forwards, but I think overall, what he usually do for West Ham, he does for you lot effortlessly. So I don't think that's a
Yeah,
problem. Uh, Havertz for me is always going to be a sticking point because like there was so much guff talked about him at the beginning, saying he needs to bed in and he needs all that. I think it was utter crap. How
yeah,
am I glad that he's scoring goals for you? I think he's doing well for you now. I think he might stop if he picks up form. I think he could be class.
yeah,
Um, yeah, like you said, you're looking for the perfect goal. After looking at the stats, I think really, yeah, you could have. It should have been at least three, probably.
yeah.
And it is just a bus stop in West London, isn't it? So you should really just tranced all over them. But I say that, yeah,
I
this
was going to
fucked
say, you
up.
say that I'm positive their first game in the Premier League in like decades. We had them first game of the season absolutely run us over. So it's
I don't
it's
think any London club's got a good run against them. We've not been great against them. Your runs are very either it's like 1-1, 1-0, like it's. But
yeah,
you're right though. You are. I think yeah, that has been your problem. I think it was the same problem last year, the second half of the season, where it was just like we're going to try and make sure that we score this absolute banger. Where I just
yeah,
think just get the dirty goals in, get the little header, bang, right.
yeah,
What was it? I checked it. We checked it before we were on, didn't we? It's on like 8 corners.
yeah.
Like for some of the height you've got,
Yeah.
Saliba should be on at least two of them, maybe three. Like the boy
Well,
that header the other week,
yeah,
it was nothing fancy, as clean as you like, straight in,
yeah.
class.
The thing is as well, and I made a note watching the game because I was getting pissed off and pissed off. I was like, we need height up front. You just need height because I think our tallest players was Saliba, Rice, and I think Gabriel. That was the only height we kind of had, and maybe Tomiyasu. But I've just named like 4 or 5, and they're mostly defenders. We need somebody at the top that's got a bit of height. And I was like, we need Havertz on. Even if he doesn't do anything, he gives us another option. Because
Hmm.
in the first half, I think we were looking for the perfect goal. It wasn't happening. We've crossed the ball in. It's went onto Jesus' head. Flecken saved it, and Trossard's put it in. But Trossard was in front of Jesus when he headed it, so it got ruled out for offside. But we got enjoyment out of that. Just get the ball in, get onto somebody's head. If it goes in, it goes in. If not, rebound. I'll keep saying this every week. Against City, Martinelli took the shot. Taking it to deflection. It went in. Um, Somebody else, Rice against Man United, he took the shot. It deflected. It went in. Doesn't matter how the ball gets in the back of the net. Just do it. But I think if we have like a tall striker, a tall winger, or just a tall player, where if we whip it in, we've got a better chance of getting somebody's head onto it rather than Martinelli or Jesus trying like a scorpion or an overhead kick. Um, I mean, I was crying out for that. And then when Havertz came on, we kept doing it, and they kept doing the same cross throughout the game, and nobody was quite going for it. And when Havertz came on, that's all he was doing. He was just trying to get to the back post, back post, back post. And then luckily, we were kind of finding a bit with the ball at the edge of the box, taking to Saka. Saka whips it in, and Havertz. Yeah, it's not the nicest goal,
Hmm.
but it's a goal. That's what we've just been saying. No, I mean,
I think sometimes with like with the amount of presence, like Martinelli, he's been class this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't like him as a player most of the time. I'm not going to lie. I'd love to see him get halved, but he's been decent. He's been decent so far this season. Saka, I can't deny how good he is. I think he's a soft touch, but when you've got that much presence on the wing, I think you are right. I think you do need, like, when you're playing with Jesus up front and it's just not working, or he's not getting enough chances on goal. I think you're right. Chuck, not a target man, but chuck someone who's big enough up there that they're just going to get on. They're just going to get on it, get that aerial threat in, because, like you said, get the rebound. I do genuinely think you're right in what you're saying, that Arsenal just go for the perfect goal. And I think if you scored as many dirty goals, is the only way I could put it, or like scrappy goals where it bounces off three people and ends up at the back of the net, I don't think you'd have any bother this year. I think you'd be flying high on that. But
no one's going to complain. I mean, I'll return the question to you. If that happened to West Ham, it's 10 free deflections went into the back of the net for a goal for West Ham. You're not going to go, oh, that was a bit shit. You're going to go, oh, thank fuck, we just won 1-0.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
Mate, I'd be happy with double digits of chances at the moment rather than, you know what I mean? So if it was a goal, fuck yeah, I'll take it. Go on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel a bit. I've seen Arsenal fan TV's player ratings, and they're harshing down on Martinelli. He didn't do an awful lot, but whenever he got the ball, he was driving at the defence. He was going. Saka gets it, and he's kind of stuck in two minds. Did I go down the wing and cross it in, or did I cut back and pass it back? I think Saka is a talented player, and I love him. But it's like a different Saka from this year to last year. I think with what Jay said on our last pod, with our Arsenal better team this year or last year, and my point stands, he didn't like it because it was sitting on the fence, he said, but going forward, we're not as attractive, and we're not getting the chances that we did last year, but we're also more solid at the back, because I think we're the team with the least conceded goals. I think we've only conceded 10 so far this season. So if you look at that, we're better defensively, just not going forward. I don't have an answer of what can change that.
I think that's not necessarily a bad thing, because, like, you might not look like you're playing as good a football this year, which is fair enough. I don't think it doesn't look as good as it did last year.
No.
But the year that Liverpool won the league, in my opinion, they played a lot worse football, like a lot worse visually. It just didn't look as good. It looked like shit football. But they ground out loads of results, and it won in the league. Whereas the year before that, in my opinion, they were the best team in the league. They played fucking unbelievable, but they just bottled it towards the end. So I think Arsenal as a team, you've got a lot, like Leandro Trossard. I loved him at Brighton. I thought it was class. The only downside was he used to score against us. But other than that, I thought he was a really good player. I think he needs more chance on the pitch, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Get him more game time, start him on. Even, fuck it, chuck him as a centre forward, mate. I'd be happy with that.
Well, normally the past couple of weeks we were starting with Jorginho, Rice, and Havertz or Fabio Vieira. But this week we started with Rice, Odegaard, and Trossard. And I don't know if it was a fact that we went, we'll chuck him on. He's done well for Belgium in the international break. We'll chuck him on and see what he can do. But I loved that, because I don't think Brentford were expecting it to be that midfield. Because Odegaard had that little injury that no one really knew if he was fit or not. If he was fit or unfit, sorry, because he didn't play for Norway in the international. But then also didn't know Jorginho, because for some reason Arteta loves Jorginho. Don't know why. I really don't fucking know why. But I think you're right. Trossard, as the game time, it gets more positive, it gets more energy. He'll be one of our most vital players for the season. So I think you're right.
Free reign. I think he becomes very creative when he gets a bit of that space. He just heads towards goal. I think when he was playing for Brighton, he was very much, you just open up the play. I think that's what you need. I think, like, when you were on about Saka, I always think a winger's first instinct should be to cross. I don't think it should be to cut in and score. Yeah. But I think if they are the only person up front, I think go for it. But when you've got someone like Trossard, he's not short. He's got to be about 6'1", 6'2". So he's maybe not the tallest compared to a centre-back. He's still big enough to get on the end of something.
I think he's 5'11".
Is he? I thought he was,
I
I thought he
think
was
he's
about
2 seconds. This is where Google's going to come in. I'm pretty sure. He is a small man. Watch, he'll come out. He'll come back. He's 6'5".
I don't think he's
Um,
not that tall.
1.72 meters. Down care. Right. Anyway,
we'll,
he's
we'll pass that.
he's not that tall. But I think you're right. Trossard has that free reign, but the thing I liked against Brentford was if Martinelli was drifting in, he was drifting out. And then
Mm.
if he was drifting in, Martinelli's. So we had that bit of the defender didn't know who's going to be running at them. Trossard plays different to Martinelli. They're both quick. They're both brilliant with the ball. But Martinelli always tries to beat the man to the byline and cross it in. Trossard makes the defender look like he's playing Sunday League and just absolute skills them. But I think if to be honest, with the Brentford game, I'm not impressed with the performance. But if we are wanting to challenge City for the title and we are wanting to win it, we need to win those scrappy games that a few years back we wouldn't win. Especially Brentford when they first came up. It's Arsenal, we should pump them. And it's positive we got beat 2-0 and we just didn't perform. We need to get that out of our heads and just go game at a time, at a time, at a time. And then, yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not going to say we're going to win the league because I'm not one of those fans. I mean, I got rattled because I heard on the TV when we went 1-0 up, like, we are top of the league. So shut up. You done that last year. We got ridiculed for the 9 months of the season. Shut up. Like, honestly. And we didn't win it. I'll start singing it in March when we're about 5 points clear City. Like, that's all I wish for. That's all I want. But yeah, man of the match for me goes to Rice. He was so good that his defensive work, he was dropping in between Saliba and Gabriel. Because for most of the first half, Brentford were just pushing and pushing and pushing. Fair enough, our defence stood tall, stood there and was like, yeah, sound, run at us, you're going to do fuck all. We tried to get them on the counter attack, didn't really work an awful lot because it was always that one stray pass. I think it went to Saka and Saka tried to get under his feet and he just got muddled up in it. We've landed back fucking at our own defence. But I want to touch on Ramsdale though, because he had 2 blunders that could have cost us goals. He's tried to, I don't know what he's tried. He's took a touch in was it Visa? Visa's he's like the Flash. He's on him, and I don't think Ramsdale knew he didn't have that much time, and he's literally tried to kick it. Visa's got it, and luckily Rice was on the goal line and he just punted it away. I think with that one, and then also he tried to throw it out, and I don't know how to describe it. He just drilled it into the floor rather than actually throwing it. And then luckily again Zinchenko was on the byline for another one that Ramsdale fucked up. But I don't blame him, if I'm being honest. And I think an awful lot of Arsenal fans need to get off his back because he didn't do an awful lot wrong last year. He didn't do an awful lot wrong this season when he was playing. But Raya's came in and it's a bit of Arteta goes, I'll pick it on week by week in performance. But when Raya has shitters, he still gets put in. And you could see Ramsdale at the end of the game, he was so emotional. It looked like he was about to cry. And I kind of felt sorry for him because I think he feels that's the last time he's going to play. Because we've already played Brentford in the Carabao Cup. We've played them away. We're apparently signing David Raya in January, so he'll be eligible to play in the reverse fixture. I think he thinks his time at Arsenal's done.
I actually Ramsdale's a 50-50 for me, right? I think the way Raya's been playing, I think you've got to start Ramsdale for the next couple of games. The fact that you've also got a clean sheet, even though fair enough, we both agree probably didn't put away your chances like you should have. Clean sheet. Even if he made mistakes during that game and the defence helped him out or whatever, he still managed to not let a goal in. Whereas Raya, has he not considered a goal the last 3 games that he's been in charge? Like,
He's definitely conceded an awful lot during his time in Arsenal, in between the sticks. To be honest, um, I,
was part of the reason why I think now, if I'm Arteta, I'm letting Ramsdale start on the next two as well. Because if he does, and you get a clean sheet both times, like you said, he wasn't bad for you last season. If he then keeps a clean sheet for these two, you got to be sitting there and go, all right, we've got Raya, but he doesn't be able to get the ball out of the net.
yeah,
Like, fair enough. I know, obviously, a lot of it's very fashionable at the moment, isn't it, to play up from the keeper. But Ramsdale's not really good at that. He's not.
no,
I think, what was it last year? I think me and you were watching a game and he went to punt it to one wing and it went out. So he went to kick it to the other wing and it went out. And we were just like, maybe just fucking fry it, yeah? Or aim down the middle, go for it. Like, what are you doing? It was like he's playing fucking ping pong.
I
So I
fucking
think,
remember that game.
I think a lot of keepers should just stick to what they're good at. I think if you're not good at playing out for the back, that's fine. Be a good shot stopper because then, in my opinion, what you need is a centre back that can play out from the back.
Yeah,
And I'd like to see what Arteta's going to do for the next two games. I think he has to start
yeah.
Ramsdale.
I think it's very interesting. Um, as an Arsenal fan, I'm sitting here and I'm going, I would like Ramsdale back in the net to see what he could do consistently. But I also feel the fact of if Ramsdale doesn't get game time from now until January, he's gone in January. And that kind of, I don't know how I feel about that because Ramsdale was only 2 clean sheets off of David De Gea last year, who won the Golden Glove. So, what's he done? And I don't think it helps with his dad coming out and fucking fighting every pundit that says a negative thing about him or the situation.
You're a professional sportsman. You have to take criticism. Unfortunately, that's going to happen. Fair enough, right? I get it. People on the internet, they take it too far. They have a right good go and they start getting into personal shit and all that rubbish. Right, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're a professional sportsman. If you fuck up, it's on TV in front of millions of people. But you think no one's going to go, what a mug? Like, obviously people are going to comment. You can have like 30,000, 40,000 fucking Arsenal fans sitting there. If you fuck up and you cause them the game, they're not going to go around shaking your hand, mate. They're going to have a pop at you.
Yeah.
But they can only do that online. It's going to happen. That's how that works.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you. His dad going online and defending him was just stupid. It's unnecessary flag.
I don't know what it is. It's like, don't bully my son. Like, he's my son. You can't say anything negative about him. But you're right. He's a sportsman. Not every sportsman has a flawless season. You're going to have bits where you're going to get a bit of flack and a bit of stick. But if I'm getting paid 180 grand a week, I don't give a fuck. You can call me anything. I'll be well, as long as it's like racial or anything like that. But
yeah, if it's someone just having a pop at your what you've done, say you do fuck up in a game, you go, you know what, mate, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And you move on, and then the next game, because you're OXE fans, you just try and you make sure you put more effort in.
It should also drive you on the next game, going, "Oh fuck, I like against Brentford. Oh shit, I didn't have my feet sorted. I almost conceded the goal. Next game, I'll get it gone. I'll be quicker." His problem is he isn't getting game time, and people can say, "Yeah, but he's training." But we all know from what happens in training to what happens in game, it's two different things. You have training fitness and you have game fitness.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, goalkeepers are a bit different, but you have game style, training style. Like it's just different. To be honest, Ramsdale, I think he was decent yesterday. He had a few issues, but I mean, he's coming off the bench for the first time since September. So I mean, give him.
You expect him to have a bit of a cold start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't expect. Don't be wrong. You expect him to be rested. If he went out there and he was fucked within 10 minutes, I'd be asking questions as to what he's been doing on the bench. But yeah. If he's not started a game in say 4, maybe 5, then yeah, you've got to expect him to have a bit of a hot and cold patch. But the fact that he still kept the clean sheet as well, mate, I'd take that. I think, like you said, the biggest sticking point for you is chances and converting them.
Yeah. I think January's very key. I think the last time that we were done a podcast, I was like, we're going to get Tony in January, or that's what the rumours were. We're going to get him. We're going to do that. That's just been flipped on its head, and apparently it's definitely not going to happen in January. But then at the same time, rumours this morning is run about Victor Osimhen. And I think people need to get their head out their arses and think we couldn't sign David Raya on a permanent because of financial fair play. So we're just going to sign a 120 million striker from Napoli just because why not?
And look what's just happened to Everton. Does anyone really want to fuck about with the financial fair play at the moment? Probably not. Little slap on the hand, you'd be fine. Minus 10 points. Shit. Yeah, no.
We would do it in January. We'd be 10 points clear of the City in April, and I will get a 12-point deduction, and I'll just fuck everything up.
Yeah, there's just no point in risking it at the moment. I'm interested to see what happens to Chelsea. But we're going to move on to the West Ham game, are we?
We are definitely going to move on to the West Ham game. The more exciting game is what I would say of the weekend, but definitely more exciting than the Arsenal game. But yeah, what was your thoughts, Ben?
I think it was fairly level pegging. I think it probably shouldn't have been because if you compare our squads together, if we're just man for man, I'd probably just say we've got a better squad out of that. And I just don't understand. Like, I think me and Jay covered it last week. I just think the football we're trying to play, like it's like we're looking for someone up front. And he jokes about chucking fucking Suchek up front, and you sit there and you go, let's get to the point, man, where it's not going to be a joke anymore. We're just going to be like, and Andy Carroll, you coming out over time? We're just going to check that front, mate.
Moyes is listening. Yeah. All the Prem managers are listening, because I was going to say this about the United games, but they're listening because he chucked Suchek up front, and he actually done bits.
No, the thing is, right. I like when we had Scamacca, I liked him as a player, Scamacca, and he's tall, he was quick, he got in those positions, but because he had a falling out of fucking Moisey, and then he gets fucked off. So now we're sitting there and we've got Antonio. Yeah, right. Perfect.
You look so happy there, Ben.
I just it's difficult watching West Ham at the moment. I think honestly. I've heard the rumours that he's going to take a step back and he's going to step into the backroom staff with Noble and that, so we might get a different manager. But
who Moisey?
Yeah, apparently, but I don't know. My thing, mate, is I think at the moment we created a lot of chances that game. I think it was 11 each, so we had the same amount of shots. But I think they got 2 more on targets than we did, and you sit there and you go, how? Like. Bowen's got a decent enough peg on him. Paqueta's got a decent enough peg on him. Benny has fucking. I don't actually care. Just chuck someone in front of the ball and go for it. I think for us, the reason that we seem to slug it through some of these games is that we just don't take our chances, or we don't create them. We're too hesitant in front of goal, and then we try too much. Like the other week when Antonio went for the ball in front of Benrahma, and it would have just been a tap in. You just sit there and go. I love the fact that you're all hungry for goals. But can we just get it in the net? And then you can argue about whose it is afterwards. I'm happy about that. But no, mate, I'll take the result. But I'm just.
I think you're right. I think it was very even, and I think the story of the game was that neither team could take the chances early on. I think Burnley had chance after chance, and they should have put one away. They should have challenged Areola a little bit more. It wasn't an eventful game. I think it was end to end of chances. Well, that's why I say it's more entertaining than what Arsenal's was. I think kudos. It's just a game changer, man. Like he just is. Like that's the only way you can explain. It's just so electric when he's got the ball. You don't know what he's going to do. Like you just don't. And I think that's what Burnley kind of. They didn't know what to expect, so they didn't. When you don't know what to expect, how can you defend what you don't know what's coming at you?
Yeah. And I think it's the fact that I think you're right. Some of the time he just puts his head down and he just runs, and he's so fucking quick that people go, oh shit, and they're in a rush to try and turn them. And there's other times where he will just tie you in knots and then just ping a ball off, and you just it leaves every. I do think creatively he's class. I think he's unreal on the ball. I want to see more Bowen at centre forward, actually. I want to see him up front. I don't think as much as I like him on the wing, I think chucking down the centre, and then either that, mate, I'd take Bentley down the centre because I like him too much. I give him too much credit. I don't give him enough stick.
I think at the start of the season, I think me and Jay spoke about this. I think we might have discussed it on the pod as well. I've said put Bowen in the middle. He can't do anything. He can't do anything worse than what Antonio's done this season, because you say that you just have too many wingers. You've got Benrahma, Kudos, Paqueta. Paqueta's more playing as a cam, but he's one of those players. You've got Fornals. You've got, why not just put Bowen in the centre and put Benrahma on the left and Kudos on the right?
Yeah.
Because then you can do what Arsenal do. They can just, if it's not working, put Kudos in the middle and drop him back a bit, play him as a false nine, and play like that. So I think with your first goal, he took on about, 3-4 players, whipped it across to that French. I think he's French. I'm going to shoot myself in the foot if he's not. And he just took it in. Like, I don't think he knew much about it, but it's hit him and it's went in. But that's what we were discussing. Doesn't matter how it goes, as long as it does. But it was the fact that Kudos had the thought, all right, there's 3 players in front of me, I'll take them on. Doesn't matter. His attitude towards the game is brilliant.
I think the only thing I'm disappointed with as well is Burnley. Nearly promoted Burnley, who are not doing well at the moment, and we grind out a 2-1 result against them.
Yeah.
I think we're capable of more, but I just don't know why it's not working. At the moment, it feels like we make games harder for ourselves. We're not. It doesn't feel like we turn up and we just go, right, we should transfer these and just absolutely go for it. We always seem to be on the back foot, and then we go, all right, we need to put our finger out now, and then we'll get a goal out. James White is very difficult from the other week where you don't see us scoring multiple goals.
No.
And I'd love to see how many games we've scored over 2 this year, because I don't think it'll be many. Maybe an interesting stat to find out is how many games West Ham have actually scored over 2 goals, and how many games where we've actually not gone behind first. I'd be interested in, because I don't think there's a lot. Not that we're bad at the back. I do like Areola between the sticks over Fab.
Yeah.
Because I think I don't know. I think for me, Fab's too old. He's done. But I don't know whether you do bring in another keeper behind Areola to give him that bit of competition like you guys have got with Raya and Ramsdale. I don't know whether you keep Areola, let him do first team, and then bring in either someone younger or someone similar age, and then get him to do cup football.
But then you have the issue of Areola last year when Fabianski was having that run of games. From the rumours and the little Tweety birds on about what's going on, they said he wasn't happy. He wanted game time. If he wasn't getting game time, he'd go back to France. Yeah. So I think they need to be careful. I don't see a problem with promoting one of the younger boys, because your under 21s aren't actually bad at all. They're actually pretty decent.
It's one thing we've never really had any issue with. Us bringing you forward's never been a problem. But what seems to be the biggest thing is we'll use them pre-season, they'll show some sort of talent, and then we just fuck them off.
Yeah.
And I liked Harrison Ashby.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking for.
And then we fucked him off to Newcastle, and then now they've fucked him off on loan. And you sit there and you go, I think I thought he was going to be a really good player for us.
Yeah.
Maybe not like straight away in the first team 11, but I thought sub here and there, class. No, get fucked, class. Cheers, lads. Yeah. And my biggest thing that will fuck me off is if in 4 years' time, or in a couple of years' time, we're looking down the line and he's one of the best in the league. I'll be sitting there going like, well, what's happened there then? Because you well and truly shit the bed with that. So yeah, I agree. I think bringing some of the youth up, I don't mind doing. If they don't want to bring people in, like you said, our younger teams, bring them up. I don't mind doing a trial. Play them in the shitter games. Yeah. I think first we need to make sure that we're not grinding games out against teams like Burnley.
Yeah.
I think if we can get I think the biggest problem at the moment, get the fucking first team 11 sorted, Moisey. And then after that's done, and we can actually score goals and not go behind every fucking game, then I'll be happy with it. But we'll see, mate. I don't know.
It's difficult because you're playing a lot better than what you were like 4 or 5 years ago. But
the last 2 years before, though, we played really well. So it's like it's the teeter, innit? 4 years ago, you look and you go, nah, actually, I'll be happy with it. But you look like maybe not last year because in the league we're a bit, but like before that, decent.
Do you need to look at Moisey though? do you need to look at him and kind of go, is it time?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think he's reactive enough. I think
Yeah,
that's the biggest thing. And for example, for me, right, Pablo Fornals had a really good season last season.
yeah.
Where is he?
He's still not better than Santi Cazorla, though. By the way, it's not happening.
Well, no, because at the moment someone's got a big box, stuck Pablo Fornals in it, and fucked it off the cliff. I don't know where he is. He's just.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem that I think our biggest problem is like we get no communication. So like,
yeah,
it could be poor fitness, it could be he's not training well, it could be mentality, right?
yeah,
If you want to drop like a subtle hint at what that is, fine. But it's the
yeah.
fact that they just go, he's not starting.
He's
You sub
just
him on
not
at
there.
like 89 minutes, and you go, yeah, I'm sure that's going to do his confidence wonders that he's getting 3 minutes of game time out of 90. Yeah, cheers, lads. So I think we do it to ourselves half the time. I think we piss off potential players who like our club, and then they end up fucking off somewhere, mate.
Yeah. I mean, with the Moisey and thinking about another manager and stuff, I don't know how true it is. I don't know if somebody's making it up. But apparently, there was a manager from the Lagoon. I think it's. I don't think. I want to say it's the Rams boss. The manager that was at the game yesterday. But I don't know if that's a fact that he was just there scouting players, or if he was there to see what the story was with new management. Should you say Moisey might want to step into backroom staff rather than...
So if he wants to do that, right, I actually don't have a problem with him doing that because the amount of football knowledge the boy's got, right, at spotting young talent and shit like that, I think he'd be really good. But I just think management-wise, I think he's had his time. I think he's past it now.
Yeah.
A manager that I wouldn't actually have minded stepping in is Brendan Rodgers, just because of the fact of how much knowledge he's got of the Premier League. The fact he's not that old either. So, like, he still has the ability to change and adapt his tactics. I don't know. Would he get a warm reception at us? Probably not. Not at first. I don't think he would.
I think it would take an awful lot to get him from Celtic again, though.
The problem is, it's the Premier League, isn't it? Now, fair enough, we're not a big, like, I wouldn't, like, success-wise, we've won our first trophy in 40 odd years. So, yeah, fair enough. But, like, yeah, it's not the same as if Liverpool gives your name a little thingy, or Arsenal or Chelsea when they sit there, like, with Potter. Like, oh, look. Actually,
would you not even take Potter?
Right, if he wasn't... right, so I'd want to see him manage somewhere else before I took him at West Ham, mainly for the fact that he fucking guff at Chelsea.
Yeah.
But at Brighton, I would have taken Brighton Potter, yeah. If you'd asked me if I'd take Potter now, I don't know. Because it's a bit, I don't know, it's
I sort of see similarities of how you and Brighton play. So I think that would be a good combination.
I think he would, but I think us being his first bounce back club after getting fucked off by Chelsea, I don't know whether that'd be a good or bad thing. Because he's either going to do one or two things. He's either going to go, he's got a point to prove and he's going to pull out all the stops, or he's confidence crushed and he's going to bottle the fuck out of it and we're just going to end up getting relegated or something. So, like, there's a real, it's a flip of a coin, isn't it? You just got to see what one you get. But
I mean, I don't think there's any harm of looking at other managers, because we all know Moyes ain't getting any younger. He looks half dead on the touchline anyway.
Exactly.
But I don't know. That's a problem though, because before Arsenal actually got Arteta after Unai Emery, it was, what about Max Allegri? What about Pochettino? What about Zidane?
You never get
we got lumbered with Arteta, and now look at us. We finished in the top two last year. We should have won the league last year. I'm not going to sit here and say we shouldn't have. We should have won it. We didn't. But we're actually challenging for titles again rather than challenging for the fourth spot.
But I do agree. The younger manager seems to be the way to go at the moment. Yeah. It does rather. Don't get me wrong, right? You've got the absent of the rule, Ancelotti. He's just a serial winner, and it wasn't him that fucked Everton. Everton fucked Everton because they're shit.
That's just the Everton effect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just the fact that Everton are guff, and they always will be. And you brought in a serial winner who couldn't win there.
He even brought James Rodriguez one.
Oh yeah, he brought an absolute class player with him. They fucking shit the bed, and then he went back to Madrid and wins the Champions League. Like, all right, okay, yeah, it's definitely his fault, isn't it?
I'm trying. They didn't have. I don't think he brought Samuel Eto'o, did he?
No.
No, it was before him. I couldn't remember who it was. But that's a problem as well. Is you have managers that have the pool like that. But I think with that, the younger managers have more of a pull with the way they play rather than you've got Ancelotti, Mourinho, Zidane. You want to play for them, but and Guardiola and stuff like that because the name you want to play under them. The stuff you'll learn off that. But at the moment, Xabi Alonso at Bayer Leverkusen is one of the best managers in the world at this moment in time. The way he transformed Bayer Leverkusen, I would love to see him in the league. And if I was a player, I would want to play in his team rather than play for him, if that makes sense. I think that's what West Ham need to find next. They don't need to find the name of the manager. They need to find the manager that's got the best style of play for use. But yeah, what's any final thoughts on the game against Burnley, or is that?
I think I'll leave it at that. We started off positive, and I've just gone like that all the way down. So I think Chelsea Newcastle. Move on to that.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't know, Newcastle were hosting Chelsea at the Toon, and they won 4-1, which it flatters Newcastle, in my opinion.
So I would agree, but I've also got to point out that this was Chelsea who I thought their last game they played unreal. I thought they were really good. They looked like they gave it absolutely everything. How did you travel all the way out to Newcastle and shit the bed and get fucked 4-1? Yeah, it is quite flattering to Newcastle. Chelsea weren't completely tranced. I get that, but it's 4-1, mate. I just.
The reason why I say it flatters Newcastle is the game was tight up until Reece James was sent off. Because he got his first yellow card for kicking the ball away, and then he's got a second one for just wiping out somebody. And he's wiped out a Newcastle player, and then he's kind of been like, oh, that's me sent off. And I think once he got sent off, the rest of the back line just looked like they were looking at each other of what to do. Yeah. You had Thiago Silva that was sitting a bit deep, and then you had I think it was Levi Colwill. He was a bit further up, and it was like one was saying come up, one was saying drop back. In the third goal, I'm going to jump to the third goal because we're on about it. Thiago Silva's went to pass it back to Sanchez, and he's caught in two minds of did I pass it, did I no? But by the time he's thought of what to do, his foot's already went to pass it, and he's knocked the ball, and it's went to Joe Linton. The stupid prick that he is. I mean, he scored the goal. That's what he's meant to do. But come on, Thiago Silva's a World Cup winner, and he can't do that. You know what I mean? He can't.
Do you think Chelsea have a bit of a discipline problem at the moment, though? Because how many cards is this in the last two? Because Gusto got a red. Then you're talking about Dan James got a red in this one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Reece James got one in this. And so you look back and you go, this is 2 reds in 3 games?
Yeah.
Is it not? Actually, it might be more than that.
No, I think it's over the space of the season. I think they've had about 4 reds in the whole season so far. They've only played 13 games.
Gusto, Reece James is another one. There is definitely another one. I'm trying to think of who it is.
So Nico Jackson?
Might be, yeah. Yeah, it will be, yeah. Was that not only a game, maybe 2 games before that? The Gusto one?
Was it Conor Gallagher? Fact, the problem is with Chelsea is we could think, and they've got too many players of who could it be?
Yeah, them out of their 50-man squad. All right, yeah, okay.
I have 1 billion and 0.5 transfer funds. Honestly, I think Reece James gets sent off. It was the turning point. Backline just
should know better though.
Yeah,
he's not old. I get that, but he's been playing first team football long enough to know that you don't go in like that. No. And I don't get after he's got a stupid caution, which by the way I'm glad the refs have stuck to. They're kicking the ball away. They intermittently,
They're
but they
having
seem to
that, yeah,
they seem to be going, yeah, go on, and like they seem to be a
yeah,
bit flat foot, like a bit light touch about it, but it's his own stupidity, mate. I agree with you. You've gone and you've got a stupid card for kicking the ball away,
yeah.
and then you've gone and cleared someone out, and you've won none of the ball. So what did you expect? And then
And
yeah,
if
you
the
are right.
player's
I
going
think
nowhere,
it
that's
turned
the
again.
problem. He's going nowhere. So why go and just commit a foul? Because he's going nowhere, but it's also one of those fouls that it is a yellow. You're
Mm.
never going to escape it with it not being a yellow. So for him to be an English international, a Champions League winner, to just kind of throw the game wide
Oh,
open. Because I think it's harsh to say that Newcastle weren't in it beforehand. Because I think the game was turning in their favour before it. But I think with Reece James being sent off, it just kind of was like,
mhm,
yeah, lads, just kind of just go on through. Like, I there's two. I think there was two mistakes that the defense made after it. That
mhm.
then I think it was Gordon scored the last gym. It's like he shouldn't have scored that if Reece James was on, or
Yeah.
if there was another man there to cover. But then I guess Pochettino should think we're a man short there. We should bring somebody on to actually cover that rather than bring on a midfielder and not cover the midfield.
My problem for Chelsea is when you think of their options at the back, they're a bit 50-50. Like for me, they seem to have like a ridiculous amount of people you could chuck if you want a bit of forward movement. But all of their coming back, they seem to be very, very few and far between of like for like replacements.
Yeah,
For me, it's like there seems to be like a level, and then after the starting 11, it fucking absolutely just nosedives. Whereas like attacking, it's just like you could pick up a load of fucking magnets, just throw it at the board and go on, then we'll chuck them six on.
yeah.
Like it's, but yeah, Reece James, he needs to know better, mate. He's just,
Reece
and you're
James,
right.
in my opinion, Reece James is one of the best right backs in the Premier League in the previous seasons. I think the only one that's better than him is Kyle Walker. But I mean, if Reece James can stay fit and he can keep his discipline in check, I don't see why he can't be the best right back in the league. I keep saying bag, right back in the league. But the problem is you've got him at right back, and then you've got Kukurea at left back. What the? He can't defend, and I say that when he bossed Saka out of the game.
Mhm.
But it wasn't the fact that he defended well; it was the fact that he just outpaced him to everything.
Yeah, he
That's all
managed
he
to, and
has.
I'll give him his dues. Actually, when it was against you lot, his tackles weren't amazing, but they were clean enough, and he was quick enough to get the ball
Yeah,
and to get it away.
yeah.
Whereas I agree with you, defending wise, absolute shit. I think, but also Chilwell's not injured, is he?
You.
Is he injured? Because I know he had a fucking cracking bit of form, and then all of a sudden, bang, Cucurella's in. You sit there going,
That's the problem with
"The fuck's he
Chilwell
done?"
and Reece James is they could have a 10 out of 10 performance on Saturday and come Wednesday they're rolled out the next game.
Just it makes no sense. I think Chelsea's a difficult one at the moment. I have to give Newcastle their props though. They took full advantage of a man
Yeah,
going off, and they went in for the kill. And 4-1's it's a good result to come out with. I can't remember what my prediction was last week, but
I'm
I
sure
think it's
Jay will
close.
remind us next time.
Yeah, I'm sure Jay will pick it up next week, but I think I said something like 3-0. So for them to
Yeah,
get 4-1, like it's not bad. I'm sure Matty's over the moon,
I
but
predicted 4-1 Newcastle. Can I mean like that's just what I
we're gonna
have.
call that, and when we check it, we'll know.
So
Um,
Jay, edit this out. We know it's definitely not going to be edited out, but here
cut
we
this bit
go.
with a massive grin. Just
um, but I think Newcastle 4-1 at home. They've turned St James's into a fortress. It was like the Allianz for Bayern was one of those stadiums that everyone went to, and they knew it was going to be a hard game. And I
mm,
think in recent seasons, Newcastle slightly moved it into the direction of if you want to come here and get a result, you're going to have to play the best you have all season. Fair play to them for doing that. I'm not a big fan of Newcastle. I'm not a big fan of their fans, but to beat Chelsea when they're in top form 4-1, fair play. But I do think 4-1 scoreline was a bit. It makes it look like Chelsea just were never in the game.
Yeah,
Chelsea had their things, and that Sterling free kick. What a free kick! But that's not going to win you games. You need to play better.
yeah, and I think they rely on Sterling.
Yes.
The problem for me, I think he's class. And I don't see him ever not being just brilliant. But I think you're right. I just think that you've got to sort the whole lot out. You can't just have Sterling putting class out up front and then the rest of the team just sitting there with their thumbs up their asses. And
Yeah.
like you said, it's like £1 billion worth of player on that pitch. What are you fucking doing? And
Yeah.
it's very. I don't know. I don't know what Chelsea's form seems to be so 50-50 at the moment.
Yeah.
They'll turn up and they'll give you a fucking good game,
Yeah.
and then they turn up to St James's. And like you said, it's a difficult place to go at the moment. They turn up, they play pretty well, I would say, the level pegging with Newcastle the entire game, and then get one player sent off, and then they just fall apart.
Yeah.
It's mental to compare that to like when you see Liverpool lose a man or you see City lose a man, whereas they seem to lose a man and they just stay as equal strength. Maybe not going
Yeah.
forwards, but defensively, nothing seems to change.
You would never know. You would never know.
You couldn't if you didn't actually count the players on the pitch, you wouldn't know that there was one missing.
No,
Whereas
not at all.
I don't get how Chelsea just fell apart so easily as well. I don't want to give him. I don't want to take the praise away from Newcastle because obviously they're doing all right. I can't fault them. I know after this we're going to go on to what games are next, so that's going to be fun. Do you want to cover United and Everton?
What we'll do first is we'll go United Everton. We'll get that one out of the way, and now we'll go to the juicy game of the Premier League this weekend, Man City Liverpool.
Okay.
So, yeah, Man United just played Everton at Goodison Park. You would not know it was at Goodison Park. You would think it was at Old Trafford because you heard more of the United fans than the Everton fans. I mean, I understand they just had a 10-point deduction, but you would actually think on that performance that they had only got 4 points of the season. Like, they were awful. But the problem is, they were awful. But Man United were also... It's another scoreline that was a bit like, it shouldn't have been that. So Everton were awful, but United were less awful. But if Everton had took their chances with Calvert-Lewin and Idrissa Gay and Dwight McNeil and fucking everybody, they should have been 2-1 up at half-time, in my opinion. But they just couldn't take it. They couldn't convert anything.
I think this is another one like the Newcastle game. I think the scoreline flatters United quite a bit. I don't think they were that good. I saw the highlights. I genuinely, that you look at it and you go, they're a bit lazy. But I agree with you. Everton are just they're just shit. There's no way of sugarcoating it. They just I don't know. I just don't know what you do with them. And I obviously take a 10-point deduction. Don't think that helps anymore either. But like, yeah, I thought Daesh when they brought him in and that, I thought, right, rather than last year where everyone thought they were going to get relegated, it was very.
Yeah.
I think it was only because of how bad everyone else was around them that they didn't.
Yeah.
So like this year, you look at it and they look just as shit as they were last year.
Yeah.
And now you brought Daesh in, who you think, yeah, he'll keep them safe, and then they get a 10-point deduction. That's hilarious for me. This is fucking. It's just funny.
Right, you're also moving into the new stadium, but you're going to be moving into that stadium possibly in the Championship and possibly in one of the worst run of forms you've had in decades.
And see, so I can't keep the smile off my face, right, seeing this, because they played shit, they got beat by United, right? We'll cover the fact that United fans are going to be sucking off Garnacho for the next 3 weeks, because, he's world class, he's amazing, he scored one overhead kick, mate. Settled, right?
To be fair, it was a good overhead kick, but I think they need to get back in their boxes a bit.
Yeah, he scored one good overhead kick, right? And you got Neville comparing him to Rooney. Fuck off. Like, what?
Like, that's no level, though. Like, fuck it. It could be anybody.
Scoring an okay overhead kick against a dog shit Everton team. Gav, get your strip on, mate, because you're scoring an overhead kick against them next week. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I'll not even get off the fucking ground. Never mind fucking overhead
I'll give
kick.
you a little lift and I'll let you then just chuck the body back. Like, I just,
But I
I
think
think it's
you're joking about that, right? Everton may as well just Deutschen may as well just turn around and went, you and you, three fans, get on the pitch. Because I think you see more passion out of the fans than you do on the pitch
I
at
think,
Everton.
and I think he's. I'm gonna make you aware of this before I say it. But I think he's total shit. But it's mental when Seamus Coleman is your driving force on the pitch, because how he's been in the Premier League the last 4 years, no idea. And he seems to be the only one that goes, "Come on, Everton, let's get going." He's a paddy. Like he's not even from there. Whereas like you got Dominic Calvert-Lewin, right? He's a young proud lad. He's come up through Everton and that. He doesn't seem to be able to walk without pulling something. So that then his team just shits the bed. I generally think if they go down, that team, I don't even think he gets picked apart. I think literally Nick Calvert-Lewin, and then that's kind of it.
But that's the problem with Calvert-Lewin is they took him off once they went 2-0, 3-0 down. So they went, "Oh, we're not going to win this game. We'll take you off." And even the commentator went, "You need to wrap him in fucking cotton wool. You need to keep him safe." But if he goes to another Premier League side, how much do you pay for him? 50, 60 million. But you're also paying for the injury.
So that's
the injury list.
For me, now, when you look at him, as much as I think he is a good player, would you not take Watkins over him now?
Yes.
And I would, arguably, I'd say out of the two, I probably would have wanted Calvert-Lewin over Watkins maybe a year or two ago. But now looking at him, fuck no. Nah. I genuinely think he'll get nicked from that club, and then when I do see him going down. And they are one of these clubs where it's, we're one of the only ones to stay up. So it's quite good to sit there and you just going, yeah, not anymore though, yeah. Like,
I can see West Ham stealing him.
It would be a type of signing to make. Someone who can't stay fit for more than a week, and then we just go, "Oh, do you know what? He looks class." Yeah, he does, but he doesn't play. Don't buy him.
He looks class on crutches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Joey, you look good, mate, on the bench. Yeah, class.
But, yeah, that's the problem with the Everton United game. There isn't much to go over. Both teams were both a bit dirty with their tackles. In Kadrissa Ghana game, McTominay both committed about 3 or 4 fouls. Committed countless fouls. I think Kadrissa Ghana did get booked, but it was like in the 80th minute or something, when he's already like taking somebody's leg off. The referee though, because you mentioned that with Reece James of he chucked away and you're at least the referee noticed and he got booked. Garnacho done it there. He's literally just chucked the ball away at the free kick when the referee's back's turned. And Decore Ashley Young's like, "Ref, he's just chucked away, you're going to book him." Decore got booked.
Yeah.
He got booked.
The problem at the moment is, I think, they, rather than deciding to go with both rules, refs seem to be tossing up whether or not they're going to go for dissent or whether they're going to go for the kicking away. For me, right, if Decore's having a poppy and he's not the captain, you tell him to shut the fuck up and you give him, yeah, all right, fine, whatever. But they're right in what they're saying, though. If he has just gone and kicked the ball away, you need to give that stupid stripy eyebrow prick a fucking yellow card and all. Like, you can't just... And I think at the moment, I think we covered this at the beginning of the season. We were hoping that the refs would just cover this across the board, but we were all very sceptical and we all expected them to just kind of either throw away the rules completely or be so inconsistent. And that's proof. It's the same game weekend. Reece James gets a red card. He kicks the ball away and then commits a stupid foul. Garnacho kicks the ball away, gets nothing, but Decore gets a yellow for dissent. I didn't see how he was towards the refs. I don't know whether he was aggressive. I don't know if he was in his face. But
it's just typical Decore, wasn't it? He's just it's probably because he's big. He's big and built. He's just, and it's like Antonio. He runs up to the referee and he could even ask something politely, and it'd still be the fact of watch your mouth. Like
pretty much, yeah.
Like that. I think Everton are poor. United are poor. United are just less poor, but Everton should have took their chances. that's kind of what that game was like. It wasn't entertaining, and I don't know how I listened to Gary Neville for 90 minutes just sucking off United and United have played really well. I tell you what, I will say this because I'm not mentioning him yet. I forgot his name, but that young boy that they've brought up through the academy to play in the midfield, I'm gonna find his name. He was phenomenal today, and Gary Neville absolutely pissed me off because they went to do his player of the match, and he went, "Oh, this new boy, he's been class today. He's not put a foot wrong. His passing's been brilliant. His touches have been amazing. Everything's been class. But I'm giving it to Garnacho because of his overhead kick. What? What? Like, nah, that boy deserved it. He was the best man on the pitch for Man United, and it's Menu." That young boy, that's what it's called. So look out for him in the next couple of games. He is phenomenal. They'll cash in on Casemiro in January, and that is his replacement. They don't need to go out and buy anybody else. He's there for years. He
I'm
could
not
be there
gonna
for
lie,
the next
mate.
decade.
As soon as I hear Neville's voice, I mute commentary. I just don't listen to him anymore. I got to the point where even hearing his voice before a game, especially, he reminds me so much of Sue Smith. Even if he's not doing a United
Yes.
game, somehow, some way, he'll
He
mention
shouldn't be on
United.
them. He shouldn't be
Sue
on them.
Smith's the same. It could be a London derby.
Yeah.
Somehow she'll fucking mention Liverpool, and you just sitting there going, "It's the other end of the country, darling. What the fuck are you on about?" So,
Blackpool, Wigan. It's a great game, but Ken, Liverpool have got West Ham in a few weeks. Shut up.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, man.
Jurgen Klopp would love to watch this game. Cheers, Sue. Shut up. It just does me in.
I would not be surprised if she dresses up as Jurgen Klopp for Halloween. I would not be surprised in the slightest.
Gary Neville guy's got an nacho, dye his hair blonde, and put some little slits in his eyebrows.
As we mentioned, Sue Smith and Liverpool, we will go on to the most entertaining game of the weekend, which was City hosting Liverpool. It was 1-1. City dominated most of the game, but there is a talking point. So we'll go goal by goal. So the first goal, I can't describe it. Nathan Ake's picked the ball up, ran past Trent. Trent went to foul him, put his foot away. Foul him. You've not got booked. You're going to stop the ball going to Haaland, who will score in that position. There's no doubt about it. He will. Nah, he's put the foot away. And I think it's McAllister just sort of went, all right, on you go. Nathan Ake's picked the ball up and ran about 20 yards. Just bombed it past the Haaland. And Van Dijk's too far away, and I don't know who the other centre-back was. I think it was Matip. They're both too far away, and Haaland's just like, it's fucking Christmas has come early, son. He's put it in, and he's the fastest player to get to 50 goals from this opening game to then. It's criminal. What was your thoughts on it?
I agree. I do actually love a bit of Nathan Ake. See, when they first signed him, I was a bit sceptical because he was Bournemouth, wasn't it? And you sit there and you go, fucking shit, isn't they? And then to see the way he's matured as a player, he's unreal. And I thought, you're right, he's dragged it 20 yards. Why Trent hasn't just gone through him, like you said? Just, if, like you said, you put it in that sort of danger area, you put the ball to Haaland, it's going to be a goal. I'd put money on it, otherwise, you're unlikely. And I think, genuinely, I'd bring him down if it was me.
Yeah.
Take the yellow. Just take it. Take the yellow. Bring him down. Let him have a free kick. Fine, but just stupidity, mate. I think we knew the game was going to be close. I didn't expect anyone to walk away with it, if I'm honest.
No.
Because it is a kind of clash of the Titans for the league, isn't it? Liverpool and City. They are the two.
Yeah. They're the two
I know you're obviously
consistent.
to an Arsenal fan. You're sitting there going, they're the clash of the Titans. You're sitting there going, we're one of them as well.
But if you go off it, the ones that if you had to put money on it, you would do Liverpool or City over the past, 5-6 years. It's always been City or Liverpool. It's been one of them. So I get that. But the City record at home, I don't think they've lost a game at home. I think they're on like an 18-game win streak at home.
And there was a stat on the last one. They've not lost a game, I think, since it's in the last like 3-4 months or something, with Rodri starting.
Yeah.
And
And that's been City and Spain. The last time Rodri lost a game was Scotland.
yeah, exactly. When was that? That's got to be August, is it?
No, last season.
So yeah, so I don't know what it is about Rodri, but
He's phenomenal.
it's
He,
I think it's how calm he stays on the ball.
yeah.
Do you know what he reminds me very much of? He's Fernandinho, but just better on the ball.
Oh, I don't
I'd
know
say
about
he's better on
that.
the ball.
He's a lot better than Fernandinho.
But head-wise, they just seem to be so similar. So cool. He'll just get it because Fernandinho, he'd foul you, he'd walk
Yeah.
away with a blank expression on his face. Rodri does the same thing. He'll drop
Yeah.
someone, he'll absolutely
Yeah.
shoulder charge him into next week. He just walks away just like, no,
Yeah.
you don't even know what's happening. You don't even know he's actually done something until you turn around and you see the wreck of a person behind him. You know what I mean? Like, there's just someone's been flattened and you sit there going, who's that? Like, so, yeah, will City's at home record. I'd love to say we'd break it.
Fuck, I'd love to say we would break it, but not after the performance we had against them a few months back.
Mate? Do you know what we need? We need a player like old school Keno to just go in and break Rodri's legs, so that then City lose their.
Fucking father like son, get Roy Keane's son, batter Haaland about. Done. Job's a good one.
Just anyone. Just get it right. 2-foot him. Right, we're taking him out for 6 months, and then give the rest of the league a chance. But
yeah, controversial. I've not seen an awful lot of people discussing it, but we will. The disallowed goal for, I think it was Ruben Diaz. So Alisson's went up to catch it. There's been slight contact. He's not done it. It's fell to Diaz. Has put it in. Was it a foul or should the goal stood?
So we've probably addressed this a couple of times, and I just think keepers get too protected. I know we always say it, and we say it week in, week out, because there seems to be one of these instances week in, week out.
Yeah.
But the only reference I can bring it back to is whenever Antonio's in the box and whenever we play a corner, he's the first one that goes up and he goes for the ball. As soon as he is within a breathing distance of the keeper, dangerous, right? Don't foul. Most keepers average probably about 6'4" plus, right?
Yeah.
You cannot treat them like they're a bit of fucking China.
No.
Because when you've got centre backs and you've got centre forwards going in, there's not a lot of small players now. So you've got these players going in to win the ball because they have to be tall enough to get over the defenders to win it. So they are going to be bigger, and the protection that keepers are getting at the moment is ridiculous. I would have given it as a goal. I don't think there was enough in it to call it as a foul. And I think with the amount of protection keepers are getting given at the moment, I just think it's another reason that it needs to be revised. They need to look at it and they need to just go, right, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Because don't be wrong, I don't think it should be the other way. Like when Bernd Leno played for you guys and Mopé's gone up, and you see Leno as he's landed and his leg went all horrible. That was a disgusting injury. And yeah, that's where the ref should have protected the keeper more. Completely agree. Yeah. But not every bloody corner. It does feel like it's becoming, whenever a team tries to get physical around a corner now, the first thing they look for, it isn't whether they're onside, it isn't whether they won the ball, it's how close are they to the keeper. Fuck off.
I would understand if I want to say it was a kanji. I'm not too sure, but it was one of them. You've went up, and I'd understand if Alisson's like that, you tried to get it, and you've literally moved his hand, or you've actually put pressure on, so Alisson's have to fight to keep his hand. There was none of that. It was a little. He's went up. He's used his arms as leverage, and Alisson's just fucking floppy hand in, and it's went fucking through it.
My argument is it's meant to be a physical game. It's meant to be a physical contact sport. The goalkeepers are, touch wood, nigh on the biggest players on the pitch. So you've got defenders and centre forwards going up for the ball to win it against them, making no contact, and yet it's been given a safety. Fair enough, right? If he's dropped the elbow in the keeper, or like you said, he's gone up and he's knocked the keeper's hand, so then he's missed the ball, then I completely agree with you. I think, yeah, right, okay,
Yeah.
too far, because you've actually stopped the keeper catching the ball.
Yeah.
But if he's jumped up and he's won a header against the keeper and managed to bring it down or something like that, and like Diaz has, and then knocked it in afterwards, no,
It wasn't even that. It was literally Alisson's went up for it, and the balls just went phew. It just went straight through.
Yeah.
And like, how are you calling that a foul? And I've seen this in about 3 or 4 games this weekend. The amount of time it's taken them to make a decision, it's unbelievable. I would get it if it's tight, but there was one in the Everton United game, wasn't tight. You could clearly see. There was another one on the Saturday kickoffs. It wasn't tight. Just give it.
But do you not think now? I think the more and more flack that fans like ourselves and other people, when they're seeing all this shit online now and you're watching the football, I think it's the amount of flack that the AR and refs are getting now, because we're sitting here and we're going, it's offside, ref.
Yeah.
And they're so, not panicking, but it's like this, or maybe they're just so worried about getting the fucking decision inconsistent from one they've made last week.
They try and look at every angle, and they try and look at every little bit of thing that could be scrutinised, and they go, right, we've covered that, we don't need to do that now. Fuck it. If it's only offside, it's only offside. That's all it is. But yeah, I think we're both in agreement. It should have been a goal. It should have stood. Trent, for his goal though, you'd think he was a striker. The way that he's just, it's been fizzed at his feet. He's took one small touch and just went, fuck it, banged it. And Ederson had no chance of saving it. A right back has just fucking done that. Like, what? Like, Gary Neville couldn't do it. Fucking Bellerin, they're different, right? But I'm going to name every right back I can think of.
Fucking Bellerin.
Bellerin couldn't do it. Fucking Neville couldn't do it. Fucking Reece James, I don't think, could do it. The fact that he's went and just shot like it was Haaland, it's unbelievable.
It's what makes Trent unique, in my opinion. Yeah. It's like he is such a good player. Fair enough, his defensive game still needs a bit of work, but he has looked better the last couple of seasons towards. Yeah. So it looks like he is trying to work on it. But the peg that boy's got, like, he could put. Do you know what, right? And one of my favourite players ever. He's so much like Bex when it comes to, I'm just going to hit a 60-yard ball, and it's the accuracy behind it.
Yeah,
like, I know De Bruyne can do it as well, because De Bruyne's fucking unreal. He's world class. But for, like you said, for a right back to be able to do it as well, where he's just like, right, this is going up the field, bang, and he just absolute floater. I think it's class. Yeah, the shot was. It's a lovely goal. It's the
fact that he's took a little touch, and it's the speed. He's took a touch and just put as much power into it as possible. I don't think Nketiah couldn't do it like that. The way his technique on it, you'd actually think he was a forward.
It's got to be something that he's trying to practice, because it's a like dead ball. You expect it from him, but that it looked lovely. It was just a class shot.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jurgen Klopp would put him into centre mid role rather than right back.
I think it'd be interesting seeing him in a cam. I think the biggest problem is if you do move him from there, he'll lose a lot of his crossing game, but you bring up his shots. So I think it's a 50-50.
I think as a centre mid though, you would still have that. He's a bit deep and he could do it. Not like a De Bruyne where he's going to sit on the edge of the D and sit there and try and distribute for there. Now it'll be like where Henderson used to play, halfway to boot halfway to the box, and that'll be it. Because then even if you do have a player sent off, say you have Joe Gomez, if he's playing at fullback, he gets sent off. We'll just put Trent there. And then we're not actually losing anybody in the back line. We're only losing somebody in midfield, but you can always just rearrange the front three in the midfield.
Do we know when De Bruyne's back now? Is he not still out for another month or two?
De Bruyne,
because I can't remember what he done, but I know he's been out for a while.
It was his hamstring, was it not? I think he done a hamstring, then he done something to his knee.
So good question, for me at least, right? City have been this good. Fair enough, they've had a couple lapses here and there, but they've been this good and then not even had De Bruyne.
I don't. I think De Bruyne will retire in the next year, either at the end of
Ah,
the season or next season. He's in his 30s now, I think. He's getting injured. He's getting injured. Sorry, too much now, and that his type of mentality, he loves to be on the pitch. He loves
oh
to just
yeah,
be able to
damn
do
right.
it.
But
But I think if he can't do it, I think he would choose not to.
I think it's a shame for football if he retires early because he's just
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's one of the best
like
cams
it's
the Premier
also
League's ever
right. A lot
seen.
of dead ball specialists like Perlock were so lazy on the ball. They just didn't. They never really looked like they were putting a lot of effort in. They were like, oh, I might go
Yeah,
get it, and then that's it. He is always leaving that pitch knackered because he just goes for it. He doesn't. It doesn't matter whether he's on. You can tell when he's on his last engine because he's red in the face. He's sweating like mad. He can barely run for it. Still
yeah,
going though. He's still chasing it because he knows if he can get a decent ball in, he can win his team the game. And
yeah,
he's one of my favourites. My favourite players in the league is just because
yeah,
not only does he, yeah, he is world class, and he is. He's probably he's one of the best, if not the best midfielder on the planet.
yeah. I don't
But
think anybody can disagree or argue with that. The amount of talent he has compared to what he was like at Chelsea to what City picked him up from, night and day. He's phenomenal. I think it's hard. You can compare people. No, yeah, I think you can compare people to De Bruyne, but you can't compare De Bruyne to other ones.
yeah,
He's just
yeah.
so unique. I think he's that player in that position where you always compare to
Mhm.
him rather than compare him to other people. I think you're right. I think he's one of the best. The Prem scene, I think he's one of the best the world's ever seen, in my
Well,
opinion.
so I think if you're right in what you're saying, obviously injury prone and how fast paced the Prem is, what would be interesting is he could probably go replace Tony Kroos at Real Madrid. It's a slot for slot. If not,
Nah,
it's an upgrade. It's you put in someone who can hit a ball even better, still has their legs, and like
I
they're
think
ball specialists. Like
I think he could walk into any team in the world,
yeah,
any.
I was just thinking if you're going for a like for like and even getting an upgrade on it, if you're Madrid, you're sitting there going, fucking right, yeah. If he wants to leave, grab him. Probably.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it would be for Tony Cruz, but it would definitely be getting in the team either way. Um, but yeah, that obviously City Liverpool ended 1-1. Helps us. We're top of the league, as our Arsenal fans would love to be chanting about. I'm not one of those, by the way. I'm not going to sit here and start singing "Boo, 60 million down the drain." Kai Havertz scores again. I mean, he scored 2 goals. But we won. We're top of the league. City drew, helps us. Liverpool again. They're second and third. They've helped
Mhm.
us now. Obviously, Spurs getting beat off a Villa. Happy fucking days. What we'll do now is we do it every weekend. Every podcast, sorry. We'll do our predictions for next week. So we'll start with West Ham. You have Crystal Palace. You're at home. So it is a
Uh,
London derby. So
yeah, but it's a London derby against two teams who don't like to score goals, mate. So 2-1 West Ham, maybe.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll go 2-1. Yeah, I'll go positive for us, but it's gonna be I don't think it'll be a very interesting game to watch.
I think you're right. I think he'll have one moment of brilliance and he'll win the game. So I will go 1-0 West Ham. I think
Fair
it'll
play.
be two teams locked on because the London derby. It doesn't matter who it is. It's always going to be toughly fought. But I think it'll be the fact of not many chances. Whoever gets the best chance will score, and I think they'll win it. And I think most likely it will be West Ham.
Mhm.
Um, so we'll go 1-0 West Ham.
Fair play.
Jay will do a TikTok on some of what he thinks in his predictions, as well as his West Ham recap as well. So we'll roll on to the better game of the weekend. Arsenal v Wolves at the Emirates. What's the predictions on that one, Ben? And please don't say 5-0 Wolves.
No, 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 no. I'll go 3-1 Arsenal, I think. I
Is
don't
that
see
with
us
Raya
losing.
in goals?
No,
No, it's with Ramsdale.
no,
Okay.
that's what Ramsdale. you have Raya in goals, I'm talking maybe 3-0 through. There's just no way. Like, I'd argue maybe 3-0, but I know Wolves have always got that little bit in them where they can bring a goal in. So,
Yeah,
and we haven't seen them play. They've got Fulham tomorrow, so it's interesting. Will be interesting to see what they do there.
yeah,
But yeah, I think I see you guys winning that fairly comfortably. I'll go 3-1.
yeah. I'll go 2-0. I think it'll be the case of we'll just outdo them with chances, and chances created. I think corners will be very key, but I don't see us tucking away as many chances as what we should. So I think it'll be 2-0. Wolves, though, Wolves always make it difficult for us at home, even at Molineux, but it is at the Emirates. So it might give us a bit of a boost, but I think it'll be a tough game. We will go with, I think, we'll go with Newcastle Man United. I was going to say that's the best game of next weekend, but it's not, in my opinion. But we'll go with that. It is at St James's. So, what do you think, Ben?
I think Newcastle. I think it's Newcastle's to lose. I think they're gonna. I think they
Yeah.
will win. I'm trying to think of a score that I think is going to happen because I genuinely see him walking all over United. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go with 3-0. I'll go 3-0 Newcastle. I genuinely think that the 3-0 against Everton is flattering for United. I think they're going to
Yeah.
shit the bed against Newcastle at home.
Yeah, I completely agree. And before you even said it, I was thinking 3-0. So before anybody says I copied you, it's not the case. Well, it looks like it's the case, but it's not the case. I think Man United will have nothing going forward. I think they're only good on the counter attack, and I think Newcastle have shown all season they are so good on so good at defending counter attacks.
Mhm.
They've done it against PSG. They've done it against Dortmund. They've done it in Champions League. They've done it in the Premier. They've done it in every competition that they've been in. So why is United different?
Yeah.
I just see a 3-0. I don't see United scoring. I don't see United threatening Pope at all. Newcastle. I mean, I don't know where Newcastle's goals come from. I think that's another good thing about Newcastle is the fact of Gordon can score one, and Lascelles scored at the weekend, and then there's so many goal scorers that the goals could come from anywhere. Brilliant. I love that.
Mhm.
So I think 3-0. I think Newcastle will take their chances. I think they'll take their ball and just kind of, well, they're at home, but I think they'll take the ball and go home. But the best game of the weekend, Man City v Spurs.
See, I reckon, like, as much as obviously we've been saying City have just been grinding out results and we've seemed to be with very little effort.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs is a difficult game.
Yes.
And I don't know. Because, yeah, they just lost to Villa. All right, fair enough. But they gave Chelsea a good game. They gave you a lot of good game. Then going to City, it's weird. They seem to be playing, like, the derbies and occasions, they seem to be playing very well. And then they seem to be like someone who's fuck all to them, and they just seem to shit the bed. So,
yeah.
I think it's either City are going to be completely whitewashing.
And City are at home, by the way.
Yeah, and if Rodri's playing, they're not going to lose, are they? So, I go 4-2 City.
Fuck, okay.
I don't see Spurs taking it lying down because Son will at least get a goal, and then where the other goal comes from, probably Kulusevski because he's been all right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to say this now, and then somehow Spurs will win the game, and Rodri's like lucky coins died or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? So I reckon 4-2 City against Spurs.
I think it'll be tighter than that. I think it'll be 2-1. 2-1 City. I don't think Spurs will win. I think their injuries there's too many. I think the back line it's too depleted. Aston Villa today just ran through it. I think City can do it, but I also think City aren't playing like City can. I think they're playing maybe 40%. So if City actually turn on what they can do more than 2-1. But I think 2-1 would be a fair outcome for it, to be honest. But yeah, it doesn't matter because Arsenal's top of the league, so we'll continue with that. Any last notes of the Premier League this weekend, Ben, or is that everything?
No, I think that's it. To be honest,
Everything? That's
yeah, I think
absolute
that's
class.
me. I think I'm done.
So we've had a bicycle kick that's won the goal of the century to Gary Neville. Arsenal's top of the league, and we're going to win it if you go off the 90% of the fan base. And yeah, it's always good when Spurs get beat. Happy fucking days.
Yeah, I
Right?
can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
No one can ever. Right, we'll get some TikToks out for the week. If not, we'll see you next week on the pod. See you in a
See
bit.
you later, guys.